Luka Doncic has been the hottest topic in the basketball world since his move to LA. Luka is a generational talent, and though that term gets thrown around a lot, many people wonder, how do scouts discover generational talents and how do we identify it early? He's been dominating the game for the last 7 years, but what isn't talked about enough is how he got to this point. We're going to dive into Luka's game at the earliest stages, starting from when he was 14 years old, and look at the signs that he will be the dominant superstar that he is today. I'm Anthony Goods, a Stanford gentleman turned NBA scout, and I'm back, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I got a lot of dope content on the way, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and please like this video, and I'm going to keep more content coming to you. But I said enough. You already know what we're talking about today, so let's go ahead and dive in. Luka first played for a youth team in Slovenia when he was about 7 years old on a team called Union Olympia, which was the team that his father played for. He was always playing against talent at least 3 years above his age, and he was already getting a lot of attention in Slovenia. On top of that, he would spend a lot of time around the professional team as a ball boy. When he was 13 years old, he left Slovenia to Real Madrid to continue developing in one of the top youth development programs in Europe. During the 2012-2013 season, he put up big numbers, averaging 24.5 points and 13 rebounds with the U14 team. By the time he was 14, he was acclimated and dominating the youth levels, and this is where we'll take a look at his development. In 2013, Luka was 14 years old at this time, and he measured around 6'2". Off the bat, you could tell he had range well beyond the youth three-point line. His mechanics and balance were solid, and you could tell he could shoot the three-pointer with ease. His footwork was definitely advanced for his age. His handle and footwork is something we appreciate about his game today, and it was present back then in 2013. There's usually an athletic gap when you think about European guards coming to play in the United States, but Luka shows that he can handle the ball, play with pace, and he has enough footwork to get to where he wants to get on the court. Another thing you'll see is that he was really comfortable playing through contact. He's probably the strongest point guard in the league today, but you can see even at 14 years old, he wasn't afraid of the physicality of the game. Court vision was something that seemed to come natural for him, but at this age, I think the important thing to note is the kind of deception, passes, and reads he's making on the run. Anybody can stand around the perimeter and make passes, but he was doing both. The passing on the move shows that he's processing the games much faster than his peers. The craft and flair in his passing was always there, and it's easy to see at this age he was going to be an elite passer. At 14, we also caught a glimpse of the vertical athleticism, which isn't a part of his game now, but if we're scouting him at 14 years old, you'd love to see a glimpse of athleticism, especially when you're scouting in Europe. In 2014, things started to change, and you could tell Luka hit a growth spurt, and he was much stronger than the players around him. I don't have the exact numbers, but my guess is that he was around 6'4", 6'5" at this time, because in 2015, he measured at 6'6". But here in 2014, it seemed like he was playing with even more control and pace, and the game was somewhat slowing down for him at this level. He continued to shoot the ball from distance with ease, and even from the professional three-point line now that he was playing in U16 and U18 competitions. The pinpoint passing and finishing was obviously still there as well. One thing I noticed about this season in particular is his body control seemed to be better. He didn't rush much, and he played with his speeds a lot more than I saw the previous season. Now 2015 is where things started to take off. This is when it seemed like he put everything together, and the youth league was really beneath him. His passing was exceptional, and we started to see some very mature reads for a 16-year-old playing in the U18 league. He could make any pass he wanted and was processing the game 2 and 3 steps ahead of the competition. He would win numerous tournaments and awards, dominating them all, as whispers around Europe were growing louder about a kid from Slovenia that could be the next European superstar. And in April of 2015, Luka made his debut with the professional team of Real Madrid, playing against grown men at a fresh 16 years old. This may not sound like a big deal, but the ACB in Spain is probably the second best domestic league outside of the NBA. I'm going off a hunch here, but I believe Luka splitting time between the youth and the professional teams of Real Madrid back in 2015 is the reason why his passing developed so much. You got to think about it. At 15 or 16 years old, if you're practicing with pros, you're not there to score the ball as a guard. You're trying not to make mistakes and you're trying to pass the ball and get it into the right hands. So I think that's the reason we saw him making even better reads in 2015 at the youth level. By the 2015-2016 season, he was officially on the Real Madrid senior team and the rest was history. His role with the team would increase over the next couple years, and during the 2017-2018 season, he would win the EuroLeague MVP, which is unheard of for a young player. It's funny when I look back at Luka's story, because I remember back in 2011, I was playing in Ukraine, and I heard about a Eastern European kid that was supposed to be even better than Manu Ginobili. And of course, I thought they were lying, but I quickly found out that it was true. Luka's size, skill, and scoring were all elite, but that's not what made him generational. What made him generational was his processing of the game. He saw plays develop before they happened. His passing wasn't just good, it was manipulative, deceptive, and precise. He controlled the game at his own pace, no matter what competition level he was playing in. When you look at generational talents like Luka and let's say like a LeBron, they were able to do what they were doing at the youth level, at the professional level as well. Some guys just make the right plays no matter what court they're on. That's what separates great players from generational ones. I hope y'all appreciated this breakdown. I'm gonna bring more content to y'all. So please continue to like and subscribe and support the channel. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next video. And as always, keep shooting and I'll keep scouting.
When did he get on your radar? Because obviously you guys make a trade draft day for him.
You know, when a kid's 13 and he goes to play in Europe against grown men, you hear about it, right? And then you kind of question it. It's like, okay, it's Europe, you don't really know. And then the scouts were saying, look, there's a 16-year-old dude, 17-year-old kid that's playing against OKC and he's fearless.
Cooking.
Yeah, just fearless. And so then we started really paying attention. Our scouts liked him. Our analytics guys loved him, right? The scouts said, okay, you know, they had 8 and number 1. Our numbers guys are like, this is the only superstar in the draft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was really the impetus. And, you know, that trade, you know, we tried, and it was like 15 minutes to go before our pick, and I called the owner at Atlanta. I'm like, you're not picking, you know, Luka, and you know the guy you want, so let's just do this deal because he'll be there for you. We'll give you a pick, and you know, instead of the general managers messing around, let's just get this done. And so we got it done.